Good evening, Kenton community. My name is Sabatino Samato. I'm your superintendent, and this is your weekly connection update. Really, we're just going to have a few things that we're going to focus on this evening. First, I want to talk about safety and security and just remind everyone what our focus has been with safety and security and what it will continue to be. And then also tie in the focus on mental health and really working with our children, with our teachers, with our community on being proactive in our safety and security by having a focus on mental health. Then I want to round us off today by really talking about why we're off this Monday and the focus on Memorial Day. So let's get going. First, continuing to focus on safety and security. And folks, there's no other way to say this other than the fact that in the past couple weeks, we have been reminded of the horror that can exist in our community, not just our Buffalo community. We know we've seen it in our Buffalo community recently, but also nationally. And we're terrified. We're all terrified. And I want to share with you tonight as a district those things that we do, that we have in place, remind you of those things, remind you how we're going to continue to work, because we're never there. Folks, we are never there in getting rid of the terror that we can have and the terror that we can experience as a society. But I want us to be familiar with, as a district, all the things that we put in place to help mitigate any of that fear. Together, only together, the only way that we truly fight this together is whenever we see something, we say something. But as a district, there are these things that we have in place that help us to mitigate and to keep us as safe as we possibly can. So for example, you'll see on some slides in front of you right now, single points of entry. A single point of entry is in place in each of our buildings in Kenton. All doors are locked during the school day, and the entry to the building is limited to one monitored and secured entrance. That's why we call it single point of entry. Visitors are not able to enter the building without the express permission of school administration, and will continue to remain and keep this a focus. More secured entrances beyond single point of entry through the ongoing capital project. More secured entrances are being constructed in each building as an added layer of security to complement our single point of entry procedures. We've also added our Raptor system, and this is all before these recent events. This has been our focus in Kenton. As an additional layer of safety and security, each single point of entry is equipped with the Raptor system. All visitors must have their driver's license scanned. The system generates a temporary visitor's badge, which visitors are required to display, and this system also screens against National Sex Offender Registry lists. School resource officers. Through a long-standing partnership with the Town of Tonawanda Police Department, the district is fortunate to have full-time resource officers, 2 of them in our high schools, one at East and one at West. SROs play an extremely important role, not just in maintaining safety and security, but also being a resource for students, a connection for students, just another additional layer, an additional adult being there to help out and to work with our kids on a daily basis. Video cameras. Through the district's recent $4.95 million Smart Schools allocation, almost $5 million state-of-the-art camera systems are being installed in our buildings and elsewhere on our school grounds, including parking lots, to enhance safety and security. Folks, this is something that is a priority and has been a priority. We already have this in motion. Now, speaking of the Town of Tonawanda Police Department, we are also enhancing and continuing to work with a new rejuvenated partnership with our Town of Tonawanda Police Department. They should all be commended for everything that they do for our district and our community every day. The district's close partnership with the Town of Tonawanda has provided dedicated officer liaisons that work with each school, risk assessments at all schools to ensure that safety plans and emergency protocols are as effective as possible and specifically tailored to each individual's building layout and environment. Active shooter training with the Town of Tonawanda SWAT team, collaboration to bridge the efforts between schools, families, and community policing efforts, and increased police coverage when requested or necessitated by circumstance. Our partnership is stronger than it's ever been before. Emergency preparedness. Schools practice a variety of emergency drills. We are also building new functionality features into our phone system to coordinate these efforts. These efforts include lockouts, shelter in place, lockdown drills, fire drills. These practice are often done in collaboration with the Tonawanda Police Department. Safety and security planning. The district has also partnered, this is within the last couple months, with Alteris Consulting Group. We highlighted this idea at a recent board meeting. A nationally known consulting company which specializes in K-12 school security. This 3-year partnership includes extensive safety and security assessments at all school buildings to identify areas and improvements of enhancements can be made, completion of comprehensive and consistent building emergency and district emergency response plans, comprehensive emergency management and response training for all administrators and emergency response teams, and 24/7 emergency planning and support. We've purchased metal detector wands. This has been in place since the beginning of the school year. You know that I've sent this out to the community on some occasions that we've done random wanding. The district has secured these metal detector wands and are able to deploy in any school as circumstances necessitate. And folks, we often do that to be preventative, not just reactive, but preventative. Office of School Culture. We've instituted this year, back in September, a new office in our school district called the Office of School Culture. And the creation of the Office of School Culture, which is responsible for school safety and security, has provided more dedicated and centralized resources for district-wide safety and security planning. Proactive planning. The district will not hesitate to take any proactive measures necessary to ensure the safety and security of schools, such as altered arrival procedures that include metal detector wanding and searching the students' belongings if so necessitates. All these initiatives were in place prior. It's helpful to understand that. But none of these initiatives are complete. We must always look at all of our initiatives and new initiatives that it is our paramount responsibility to always look at what else we can do and what we're doing and how we can do it better. The district is being proactive in increasing mental health staff. Folks, we'll continue to be better with all the ways that we mitigate, but being proactive with our mental health staff is going to be the key to our success in the future and the key to making sure that we identify and provide the support necessary prior to anything possibly taking place. Ways that we're being proactive with our mental health staffing: 3 counselors, 3 social workers, a psychologist, 2 speech pathologists, 3 special service teachers, all for the upcoming school year to best address the needs of the students and the families. This is what we shared at the previous board meeting when we were talking about the budget for next year. After school family counseling is available at the Family Support Center, which also connects families and other mental health services. Any school district family can connect with the Family Support Center right by calling 716-874-8510. That's been in place, and that's been in place for years and years in Kenton. We're creating new partnerships with community organizations to enhance our mental health and social emotional support services, such as Best Self Behavior Health, Compiere, Peaceful Schools, and the University of Buffalo Institute on Trauma and Trauma-Informed Care. Folks, this needs to continue. This needs to push even harder. We have only scratched the surface on trauma-informed care in our district. We have to get much deeper, and this will help us to get deeper with our staff, with our schools, and helping our students and our families. An extensive professional development plan has been developed to include training for staff on restorative practices, mental health first aid, de-escalation, and other strategies to engage and connect with students. Remember, this has been done. This has been the plan absolutely for our upcoming year, now for the end of the year, since before all the trauma that we've experienced as a community for the past 2 weeks. We know we have this identified. We're moving forward with this. In the 2022-2023 school year, the district will be using a K-12 screener for social emotional competencies to explore students' strengths and the next steps for social emotional growth, including targeted support and interventions. Now, folks, what this really boils down to is that there will be no one answer. All the mitigation that we have in the schools will not matter unless we continue to work together to always, like I said before, see something, say something. All of the mental health will help us to focus on the ways that we can help our students, help our staff, help our families proactively before anything can ever happen, and just get people the help that they need. But also making sure that we're vigilant. When I say see something, say something. If something is wrong, it has to be addressed. Tell us and we'll address it, and we work together to make sure that we're addressing it. None of this is easy, and none of it will be easy. And I wish that I could tell you, as long as we have this one thing in place, we will be able to always prevent anything. It will be a combination of everything, and all of us coming together to make sure that we are preventing this from ever happening in our district, and we're always getting everyone the help that they need. So let's continue to work together through these tough times. And folks, I promise you that we will make Kenton stronger. And now that brings us to our next part, and that's honoring why we're off on Monday. Remember, we're off tomorrow on Friday, but we're also off on Monday because it is our Memorial Day. It's our time. Ever since the Civil War in the United States, we've taken observance of Memorial Day. We're remembering all those men and women that have dedicated their lives, sometimes given their lives, for our freedoms, for our country, for what you and I enjoy every day. So let's take pause on Monday to just remember this beautiful country that we have, and all the dedication, all the service that those men and women have given to us over the years so that you and I can enjoy this. So folks, that brings us to the end of our connection this week. If anything, we're reminded of how important it is that we love each other, that we really take the time this weekend to be close with family, and really take the time to talk and reflect how lucky we are to be in the United States of America, and how we must now come together as Americans to keep our world safe. Thank you, and have a wonderful weekend.